Hi everyone, this is Tracy from 37 Chocolates. As you know by now, I'm a freelance writer and I am a chocolate sommelier. During the year, I organize lots of chocolate tastings. And right now, during this quarantine, I am coming live twice a week, every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Hi Shay. And today I am reviewing something a little new. It is the summer edition of the 37 chocolate tasting set. So for those who may have missed it, I would say about a month ago, I put together a little kind of like craft chocolate tasting set. And by that, I mean it was a selection of chocolate that I thought were a good introduction to the world of bean to bar, fine chocolate, craft chocolate, doesn't matter. So you had two dark chocolates, very different flavor profile, and then you had a dark milk chocolate, which is a chocolate with with milk, but also cocoa percentage greater than 50%, as well as the white chocolate with lemon and sea salt. So that little bundle introduced everyone to the variety and the diversity of chocolate flavor. And now with the summer coming up, I put together a new tasting set. And so I was thinking a lot about what I wanted that selection to be. And as I've mentioned before, I'm not interested in trying yes, for these videos I'm interested in trying everything, but for the tasting sets that I offer to you, I'm not selecting from a gazillion chocolate makers. I'm very narrow in my chocolate maker selection, but I want you to be wowed, surprised, or I want you to reconsider what you thought about chocolate. So this, I really like coming up with those with themes. And for this edition, I was chewing on this over a weekend, and I thought, what do I want this selection to be? And I kept coming up with lemon. And for me, I was thinking lemon, lemonade, like that's summer to me. And so I went for a chocolate section with a summery vibe. So let me show you what we have. So it's a 3-bar selection. We're going to start with this one. This is the Cantu Grand Blanco, and I'm going to review this one very shortly. It's a 70% dark chocolate, which for those of you who think of dark chocolate as like that traditional brownie flavor, this is going to be very different. So next we have this Wonderous with sea salt. I was really I was thinking of the salt around the margarita. I mean, that's really what I was thinking about. And that's why I thought, I'm a fan of WM chocolate in Madison, Wisconsin. And this is actually one of my favorite salted chocolate, this one. I'm going to review this one as well. And for the wild card, so this is, my gosh. So I'm going to tell you a lot more about this one. This is a lemon bar, and it's not actually a dark chocolate. And here it's actually a cocoa butter based chocolate, and it's essentially a white chocolate without any of the dairy. So to be called white chocolate, what a lot of people don't realize is that there are very specific legal requirements, and one of them is that it has to have milk fat. So if it doesn't have milk fat, it cannot be called a white chocolate. All right, so you see here we have cocoa butter, cane sugar, and lemons, and that's it. So think of it as a vegan white chocolate. Okay, so I see, Claire, you've had some issues with the video. I'm so glad this is fixed. I was worried that people could not watch my video, so you can be on for the ride. All right, so we are going to start, let's start with, I think I'm going to start with the Cantu Grand Blanco. So Cantu, for those of you who don't know, actually I came prepared. Cantu is a small chocolate company based in Montreal. And for Claire, who is based in Montreal, it's actually nice that I review a chocolate that she can easily find. She doesn't have to cross borders to get it. So let me show you. It was founded by, this is Elfie and her husband, Maxime. And Elfie is originally from Peru, and both of them met in Peru, actually. I mean, it's not that long of a story, but that's all you need to know. They're based in Montreal. And Elfie once told me that her passion is actually not making the chocolate, it's sourcing cacao. And a lot of people ask me, like, you know, like, what's the most important part, so to speak, of making chocolate, whatever, or like like how hard it is to make chocolate. What I like to say is that it's a chain, and everybody needs to do their part, but you have to start with great cacao to make great chocolate. Like, you cannot turn something, you know, it's like cooking. You know, you have to start with the best carrots if you want your carrot salad to taste good. That's the same idea, knowing full well that you can ruin a good product, but of course that's not the case here. So Cantu, they made a splash a couple of years ago because nobody knew who they were, and they went from non-existent to getting a bunch of gold awards, just like you can see at Academy of Chocolate Awards in 12 months. And so that's how I found out about them. And so I feel lucky that we have developed a very nice relationship. And last year when I went to Montreal, so I saw Claire, for one, who watches the video right now, but also we like the Maxime and Elfie actually invited us over to their house, and I've had a lot of discussions, like really interesting discussion with Elfie, especially about this bar, to be honest with you. And yeah, and it's so much more meaningful when I'm able to go deeper with just a few makers than staying superficial with a lot. And what's special about this bar, that Gran Blanco, for those of you who don't know Spanish, means big white. And this refers to the color of the cocoa beans that are used to make this chocolate. And so the typical cocoa bean is actually purple, and the Gran Blanco is made from a ratio of bean that is white and purple, and an unusually high ratio. So what that means, so I've had literally this discussion with Elfie. There is, like, you will hear a lot of, oh, the white beans. And frankly, I think it's like almost offensive to say, oh, there's amazing white beans, when it's like, well, what's special about the white beans? Like, nobody, if you really start asking, like, not a lot of people are able to articulate what's special about the white beans and why should that be superior. And so I had this discussion with Elfie. And like maybe a day later, I actually found out that the tannins, like the polyphenols that give in your mouth that drying sensation known as astringency, kind of like when you bite into the pith of a lemon or eating a raw quince, like, you know, or like oversteeped tea, black tea. That's astringency. It comes from polyphenol or some red wine, and that's why some red wines are more tannic, more astringent than white. And when you have a lot of a high ratio of white beans, you don't have that astringency, and you have a lightness that comes to the chocolate. So in the case of Gran Blanco, the light isn't too great, but I'm going to try to show you what exactly that means. So this is a piece of Gran Blanco that I had, all right? Do you see the color? It almost looks like milk chocolate. It's a 70% dark chocolate. You can see the ingredients are pretty simple. Cocoa beans, cane sugar, and cocoa butter. Simple as that. In any case, as you see, super light in color. And I have the Wonderous from WM. I just want to do, I mean, this is a sample bar, but do you see the difference in color? Yes, I see it. So that's really what that translates into. And if you're the kind of person who thinks, or know of people who think, oh, well, dark chocolate is too much, too bitter, let me tell you, you haven't tried Gran Blanco. So I'm going to break a piece here. It's actually a bit soft. Because it's gotten a little warmer, and boom, the first thing that hits your tongue is actually the creaminess, the way it melts. It just blossoms into, it depends on the day, but like lemon, orange, lemon, orange. Sometimes it tends more toward orange than lemon, and they're not really subtle notes. Like they really are, you know, like they like the acidity like this is really blossoming, black blooming, and you do not taste much traditional chocolate with flavor, and it is barely bitter, if at all. And what I love about that, okay, now the honey gets in, and that honey, it's that, you know, a kind of tart sweetness, you know. And so yes, you get that. But what that means is like this is a fabulous flavor profile for chocolate to pair. So as you know, I do a lot of wine chocolate pairings, but not just. I cannot stress to you how well this chocolate pairs with so many wines. It doesn't matter the color, it doesn't matter the variety. Not all of the wines. I won't go as far as say it goes with like every one. I have still the same as last time. So like this one isn't really in a, I mean, it doesn't clash, but it's not like a natural pairing. But I've had great success with Chardonnay. I've had great success with Cabernet Franc. You have to try it. But the, like what, you know, like in every experiment, I actually messaged Elfie to say, oh my gosh, like when we went to her home, I brought as many bottles of everything, like even small, like I wanted her to try bourbon, and I would get like, you know, the small little miniatures. And I said, Elfie, you have to try this. Grand Blanco is amazing because it goes with almost everything. I call it the little black dress of my chocolate repertoire. I'm a fan of the Chuncho, which I have reviewed before, but like, let me tell you, Grand Blanco is just like, you can take it anywhere. And Chuncho is a different dimension, but Grand Blanco, I mean, Elfie knows how much I love it. And my favorite pairing was actually with a Cointreau-based cappuccino drink, pairing them together. I have harassed Elfie so that she would try it because of that orange cocktail flavor with Cantu. I cannot stress out to you how amazing of a combination that is. Shay is saying it's fantastic with cherry bomb scotch too. I mean, Grand Blanco, you cannot go wrong with it. That's really the reality. And even if you think you like only milk chocolate, just give this one a shot. So I really wanted you to try this one. So I make it part of the tasting set. And again, it's like I wanted to have that lemony. I like the lemon bright. You know, I think it's perfect for summer. And with your Cointreau drink or whatever, or orange juice, it's, you know, if you're not into alcohol. All right, so that's number one. That's the bar number one. The second one, actually, we're gonna go. All right, I know how you guys feel about this bar, the chocolat. Let me tell you about this one. My guess is like you have never heard of this maker, and it's chocolat that you see here is actually based in Houston, Texas. And I met the owners of the company in Dallas at the Dallas Chocolate Festival. And what happened is we got into, we started, well, long story short, Tony and his wife are from Lebanon and I'm from France. And if you don't know, Lebanese people speak French. And so having that connection, this happens, like this has happened with so many people in this country, like people from Mali, Senegal, you name it, like just having that language is just like, you know, such a bridge, like such strong common ground. And so we had, during the VIP hour, I ended up having a nice conversation. He had white chocolate. He had a big, like chocolat still has a massive selection of white chocolate. Like they have ganduya, matcha. Matcha is really good. And the mocha is delicious. Anyhow, so, and I have been looking for a very, very good white chocolate that's not Castronovo's. I mean, Castronovo's, it's like everybody who knows me knows about it by now, but I'm like, I cannot have one. I want more. And I've tried so many white chocolates, and I'm always looking for a white chocolate that isn't too sweet, but interesting, and like where I know the person anyway. And so this one, I'm going to open it. What I really like is, I'm going to open it now. So the ingredients are super simple, and this one, they removed the dairy. I had the dairy version actually, and now it's like they removed the dairy, and I'll tell you what happens. So look at that. So if you get the raspberry or strawberry, it's in red foil. If you get the mocha, I forget what it is, but it has this, it matches what's inside. Now let me open this. And all right, this is the bar. All right. And so what I love about this is like it's not trying to be Dennis Castronovo's white chocolate. It's not. It's totally a complete different interpretation of white chocolate with lemon. And I love that. I love that this is so original. So it smells just like if you cut a lemon in half and you smell like the pith and everything, it smells like a freshly cut lemon. And it starts to melt in my hands. And because there's no dairy, I mean, this, like, if you like your mouth to pucker, that's it. And again, this has like the Castronovo's white chocolate lemon and sea salt tastes like cheesecake. It still has that smooth edge. This has a nice creamy flavor, but the lemon is in your face. Like if you do not like lemon, just stay out of it. It's a bite in a lemon. Yeah, and I love that you taste all of the lemon, like that bitterness, a little bit of the pith, the acidity, the bit of this, like, and the actual flavor of the lemon. It's very well rounded. It's not, I will tell you, it's super hard to pair. It is, the lemon is so strong. I have not, let me try this with this one. That's actually not bad with this one. But yeah, the rind, the pulp, and you can see the color. There's no coloring, so this is actually the lemon coloring. So it's actually not bad with this tannic red wine, actually, because it kind of calms it down. So I found a pairing, hoo-hoo. But not everybody is a big lemon lover, which I am. And I have some green tea. Yeah, it's pretty good with the green tea too. But what I would suggest pairing it with would be like with a blueberry dessert, whether that's a popsicle, frozen yogurt, pie. It would add a little acidic component. I would cut through to the sweetness of the dessert. That's what I would do. So bottom line is, this is delish. Nobody, like, you know, I'll tell you how I looked and looked and looked for like a different kind of white chocolate. And you can't call it white chocolate, as I said. There is no dairy. Only those 3 ingredients that you see here. And that's it. So, all right. This is even better. Do it like as I take my time. Like, you know, this is, I could see having friends, like in a time where you can have friends over, like actually sharing it with, like, you know, everybody's passing the bar and like having a bit of this, a bit of that. But yeah, so all right. And I don't know if you guys have questions or everything, but I'm gonna move on to the WM chocolate with Hawaiian red salt. So WM chocolate, Madison, Wisconsin company, started by Will Marks. You may have, like the video I did on Tuesday was actually a review of his new bars, you know, with the shiny wrappers. I'm a big fan of this bar, and I'm gonna eat it and tell you what I like about it. So we're gonna take a look at the ingredients here. I like the color actually of this. It's like this swimming pool blue, like it's almost like a teal turquoise color, and I thought that's such a nice, you know, yeah, summery, like a summery color. And I have some sample bars here, and I'm gonna cut them up. They're always nice and thick. Yeah. And before I taste it, it's a bar I'm quite familiar with, but what I like doing with this one is if you are familiar with Albarino as a Spanish white wine. So I love the story about Albarino. It's because not because, but Albarino grapes grow by the sea, and there's like the last Albarino I had, the story is that the grapes were growing 50 meters, so like 50 yards from the sea. And so the story says that the wind is bringing that salt, bringing the salt to the grapes, and the wine, the white, so it's a white wine that has that has a saltiness, because I mean those that grow closer to the sea apparently taste saltier. And we found, like most people will tell you, the wine people will tell you, do not pair white wine with chocolate, it's terrible, whatever. But if it's buttery enough, if it's creamy enough, like if you need fat, you need a fatty chocolate, and if it's like made with finer quality beans and not over roasted, so you don't have bitterness, it can work. So yeah, here start getting the salt. Yeah, just like the wrapper says, you do have, this has that nutty caramelly. I won't go as far as say it tastes like andouille. That's not really true, but it has a I want to almost say, like, if you like a chocolate pudding texture, it has that texture and flavor to me. And the little salt, it is so tiny, and it's just boom, boom, boom. It is so elegant, and it's a nice, you know, chocolate and nice and creamy. So I'd say, you know, like as I said, the lemon, the salt reminded me of, you know, margarita. So that's why I made it part of the thing. So there you have it. I think it's a lovely selection for the summer. Though I would say I have been shipping chocolate of people who are attending the tasting next Sunday, June 7th, which is sold out, which is fantastic. Thank you for all the people attending. I have been glued to weather.com, and I can tell you the temperatures from everywhere from New York City all the way to North Carolina, because I'm so worried that the chocolate will melt, even if you add ice packs, unless you do like overnight, like, you know, express, which is like super expensive, and I would have to charge extra for that. The thing is that in my experience, the chocolate melts in the USPS truck when it's going, and I have to make sure that I ship it at a time that's going to guarantee that, at a time that's going to increase the chances of the bar coming on a day where it's actually cloudy and all that. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is actually going to be a little chillier, especially in New York City. I think it's going to be 69. It's going to be 69, and I'm like, oh great. So I shipped everything, so it will come on Monday for the people attending the June 7th tastings. But for these bars, I'm actually planning on shipping mid-Atlantic or like Midwest, wherever it's not too hot right now, where it's like 70 tops, 75 maybe. But bottom line is that it's going to be a little chillier across the board Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I want to ship one time on Friday and one time on Monday, so I don't have to stress about which condition the chocolate has come. And I mean, it's, you know, we have a pandemic going on. I don't want to worry about the chocolate melting. I mean, I want you guys to have the chocolate in good shape. So this is going to increase the chances. So if you want this wonderful selection, please consider placing your orders today, so I can go tomorrow, and then over the weekend, so I go on Monday, and then we'll see what happens. And if you're local to Kennett Square, you can use code LOCAL, and I would deliver to your home with contactless, you know, whatever. Like I would just knock on the door and run away. So that's what I would do. But this is a summer selection. So Emel is saying thank you for the selection. I'm like, welcome. I don't know if there's any other comment. Yeah, no, that's good. So there you have it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you give this a try. I added the link to the eShop just right here, like on top. And if for you watching this on YouTube, at the bottom, I will add the link. The best way to keep in touch, if you know you're not going to catch all of these videos, is go to 37chocolates.com, sign up to the newsletter. I cannot stress that enough. I do not promote the online tastings on Instagram, for instance. And for me, the best possible way to actually reach you is to go is to have the newsletter. Victoria is on. Victoria, I traveled with her to Colombia last year. Victoria actually talked about you during my Colombian chocolate tasting yesterday. And anyway, so it's good to see you too. And speaking of Victoria, you guys follow her on Cocoa Bean Town. She does a Facebook Live. So it's Cocoa Bean Town in one word. She does a Facebook Live every Sunday. And let me tell you, I have learned so much from her. Yes, so really follow her. And she has a super engaging personality. Like, she's a wonderful storyteller. I mean, if you love chocolate, please go ahead, follow her page, Cocoa Bean Town, because the stuff she posts is like so different from what you're seeing here. I mean, I watch it because I feel it expands my chocolate horizon, and you might feel the same way. So Cocoa Bean Town for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you Tuesday for another video. Bye bye.